It's a battle for the Empire State Bowl. Columbia back home for Senior Day. A chance to bid a fond farewell to their dedicated student athletes. A win will give Columbia its fourth winning record in 5 seasons. But it won't be easy. The Big Red of Cornell has a lot at stake as well. A victory secures their first winning campaign since 2005. It's Columbia against Cornell, a grand finale with bragging rights on the line, and it's right here on ESPN+. It is football weather. As you can see, the temperature here in New York City today, wind will certainly be a factor. So glad you could join us. Hello, everyone. Alongside former Columbia defensive back Landon Beatty, I'm Lance Meadow as we set the stage for Senior Day. And if anybody knows the emotions of what this day entails, it's certainly you. You went through it in 2018. A lot of your former teammates certainly are taking part in these festivities. What's unique about this matchup against Cornell?
You know, 4 years of blood, sweat, and tears into the program, and it all boils down to this, right? And, you know, for these guys, it's going to be really critical for them to lock in on this rivalry game for one last show.
Well, if there's any storyline to watch today, it's the middle linebacker position. We're going to start on Columbia's side. Scott Valentes, who has 5 straight games with double-digit tackles. He's the heart and soul of the defense. And Landon, he's done a little bit of everything.
Really the defensive coordinator's dream, right? When you talk about a middle linebacker, he leads the league in interceptions, top 5 in tackles, just an ultimate team player, really plays with great instincts.
On Cornell's side, it's all about Jake Stebbins. He's their leading tackler. He was first team All-Ivy last season, and he's essentially picked up where he left off.
Yeah, we're really getting a show of 2 of the best middle linebackers in the Ivy League. Leads the team in tackles. Really excited to see what he puts on tape today.
So 2 defenses will be showcasing the middle linebackers as we look at their career numbers here head-to-head. Very similar numbers. Of course, Scott Valentes stands out in terms of his ability to turn the ball over. 5 interceptions. He has 4 this season, 2 in their last game against Brown, which they won in overtime last Saturday. As we get set for the coin toss here at center field at Robert K. Kraft Field, let's listen in.
Columbia has won the toss, elected to defer.
So there you have it. Cornell will get the ball first as Columbia will get it to start the second half as both teams will turn to their respective sides. This is a matchup that overall has been dominated by Cornell if you look at the big picture, but the last 32 meetings, Landon, they've split, and Columbia's won 3 of the last 4.
Always a really tightly contested game. You know, I look back on my career against Cornell. We had 2 games that came down to the wire. My final game of my career really came down to the last play of the game with Mikey Russos coming back and returning a touchdown with, 7 seconds remaining. It's an important game. It's a rivalry game. And for these seniors, it's really the last time they're going to suit up and don the red and the Columbia blue.
The Lions have won 2 straight games, both nail-biters. Cornell coming off a very impressive victory over defending Ivy League champ Dartmouth. What stands out about this Big Red team, Landon, is time of possession. They're very methodical in their approach. They held the ball for nearly 40 minutes in that win last weekend.
Yeah, and we talked to Coach Archer earlier this week and about that time of possession and the philosophy that he has on offense. And really, he told us that this is the first year. It's really Joe Filippiano's first, his offense, right? And to give Jamison Wong the keys to the offense and to be able to, control the line of scrimmage and time of possession is going to be huge today.
So both teams heading back out onto the field for the opening kickoff. Alex Felkins will kick off for Columbia. One of the many seniors being showcased for the Lions today. 32 in all. That includes both fourth-year seniors and fifth-year players. Cornell has 18. That includes the combination of both labels as well. As Felkins has a few records that are within his reach today. We'll see whether or not he can approach that. Right now, he's trying to pin Cornell back as the Big Red anticipating the kickoff with Davin Kaiser, who returned one for a touchdown last weekend, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. And Cornell will not have an opportunity at the start of this game. Columbia known for stopping the run, and they are going to have to try to contain a dynamic quarterback in Jamison Wong. He's their leading rusher in addition to their top passer.
Yeah, really impressive, and young, too. A sophomore, only a sophomore. Took the reins as a freshman, last year and has really played well. Looking forward to seeing what he can put on tape today.
1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Big Red. As Wong out of the gun. And he's going to look to go to the air immediately, and it's incomplete. His tight end, Matt Robert, unable to hold on to that one.
Yeah, Robert, we talked to Archer earlier this week and talked about Robert really being that safety blanket for Jamison Wong. And, you see it there. First play of the game goes to his safety blanket tight end.
You see Wong's stats on the season, 8 rushing touchdowns. And he also has drastically improved as a passer. We were talking with David Archer earlier in the week, and night and day. He actually played against Columbia last season. He was one of 3 quarterbacks, though, that appeared in that game. So 2nd and 10 here for the Big Red on their first possession. And here they will go to the ground, and some space to operate for the Big Red. As taken down at the 30-yard line is A.J. Holmes, their freshman running back, as Cornell has been decimated by injuries. As we take a look at the starting lineups, a veteran offensive line protecting Jamison Wong. Their top wideout, Thomas Glover, first-team All-Ivy last season. Robert, second on the team in receptions and receiving yards. So Cornell is down to its 4th running back this season as a result of injuries. 2 players were hurt last week. And they fake the handoff. Wong keeps it himself, wiggles in and out of traffic, and it looks like this is going to be good enough for the first down as they will move the chains. And there's an example, Landon, of his elusiveness.
Yeah, just so dynamic. 3rd down, right? You're looking for your quarterback to make a play, and obviously gets the first down there.
We look at the Columbia defense. Justin Townsend, team high 6 sacks. He has been an extremely disruptive force this year. We talked about Scott Valentes off the top. And a veteran secondary with Farad McCombs playing his final game as a Columbia Lion. They pitch it back to Holmes, and Holmes is not going to have any space to operate there. Loses yardage as Columbia's defense in perfect position, specifically Joshua Powell there. So they had Gannon Carruthers and Robert Tucker handling the backfield work last week. And then prior to that, it was Eddie Tillman, who unfortunately broke his leg back on October 22nd against Brown. He was their leading rusher in terms of the conventional running backs, but Wong obviously adds a completely different dimension.
Yeah, it's going to be running back by committee today.
Similar to the baseball approach out of the bullpen. Yeah. As Cornell on a 2nd and 12, Wong, another quarterback keeper, and he's going to dive towards the first down marker. He's going to be just short, but here a very manageable 3rd down.
Yeah, it looked like a designed draw play there for the quarterback. Wong just making use of his legs and going right up the middle of the defense. Yeah, designed draw, gets right up the middle, get a block on Scott Valentes, and first down, Cornell.
So they need 2 yards to move the chains here, as Wong picked up 10 after the loss of 2 by Holmes. Cornell, just 36% on 3rd down this season. That is dead last in the Ivy League. Wong taking his time here. And we're going to have a stoppage of play. So Cornell wants to talk things over here, utilizing an early timeout. And based on what they've run the first few plays, Cornell does not hide anything, Landon. No. They know they're about the rushing attack, and we saw that between the conventional backs as well as their quarterback.
Yeah, it's also an important down, right? 3rd down. Columbia is number 1 in the Ivy League in 3rd down conversions on defense. And, giving Jamison Wong the ability to, run the ball and be dynamic is going to be critical for them to, move the change and really go up against this stout Columbia defense.
There's a Cornell team that is trying to secure its first winning campaign since 2005. They're also trying to record 4 road wins in a single season for the first time since 1990. It has been a banner year for them in terms of success. And Al Bagnoli, we were talking to him earlier in the week, he said these teams are a bit of a mirror image of one another, given some of the challenges they've had to deal with. 3rd and 2. They hand it off, and this one is going to be close. It looks to the naked eye as if it's going to be short, as they did not get enough push up the gut there. And it is short. So we'll see what Cornell decides to do as we take another look.
Yeah, you can see Russos there coming up the middle on a blitz, third down. Justin Stovall, in shades of Paul Ferraro, really loves blitzing on third down and getting after the quarterback.
And that was Drew Powell, their other running back, stopped for no gain. So they bring out the punting unit, Aiden McCarter on to kick. And Carter McFadden will make a fair catch at the 20. And when we come back, it will be Columbia's first offensive possession as the Lions defense comes through in the early goings of this one. Caden Bell under center for the Lions, taking over for the injured Joe Green, and he has made quite the name for himself, especially over the last 2 games. He seems to be getting Landon more and more comfortable.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing for him, you know, a senior coming in and not having much experience, and you know, Joe Green going down and early on in the season, it's been crucial for him to develop and get comfortable.
So they'll start at the 22. And a flea flicker from Ryan Young back to Bell. They're airing it out deep down the field, and it is going to be incomplete as Bryson Canty could not haul it in. A little trickery to start this one.
Love the creativity there from offensive coordinator Coach Babish. You can see a little flea flicker, Ryan Young, Caden Bell, and just can't hold on to that. But rivalry game, come out and unleash everything you got, right?
Well, there is no tomorrow, literally.
No tomorrow.
So you might as well dig deep into your bag of tricks. 2nd and 10 here for Bell, and this time Ryan Young will keep it as he tries to search for some space. Minimal, maybe a yard, if anything, on that one. We look at the Columbia starting offense. His offensive line now back to full health with Matt Klenk back at left guard. He missed a few games earlier this season due to injury. And they have plenty of lethal weapons in the receiving corps, including Canty. Luke Payton has been very active as a red zone target as well at tight end.
Canty and Libman, 2 of the best receivers in the Ivy League. Really dynamic players.
3rd and 9 with Ryan Young in the backfield. And Bell has a clean pocket. He fires over the middle, and his wide open man is Marcus Libman. It's a foot race, and Columbia is in Cornell territory down at the 20.
There he is, Marcus Libman, just as we were talking about him. It's going to be critical for Columbia to get that ball in the hands of their playmakers. Number 2, Bryson Canty. Number 3, Marcus Libman, and you see it there.
Libman had the game-winning score in overtime against Brown last week as they were able to connect for a 53-yard strike here.
Yeah, just right down the middle, split the safeties. Marcus Libman makes an easy catch and get the ball in the hands of your playmakers.
So a fresh set of downs for the Lions. Here's Joey Georgie off the left side, weaves in and out of traffic, and a positive pickup there as he was able to turn nothing into something.
I've been impressed with Joey Georgie this year. You know, really tough physical downhill runner, and you know, the last couple of weeks he's really taken off there.
We see the linebackers in for Cornell. Jake Stebbins, the man in the middle who's going to have his hands full trying to slow down this Columbia rushing attack. That was a 6-yard gain. They go back to Georgie. He slices up the middle and tries to move the pile forward at the 25-yard line, and right there is Noah Taylor for the stop.
Columbia this year, you know, struggling a little bit to put points on the board in the red zone. So it's, you know, their first drive of the game. It's going to be really important for them to get points on the board here. Not just a field goal, a touchdown, right?
15 touchdowns and 31 opportunities for the Lions this season in the red zone. They gave Georgie 4. So it's a fresh set of downs here, and Georgie maneuvering again through the Cornell defense, and he gets taken down inside the 5. That is tough running by the young back.
Here's the replay, just right up the gut. And like we said, he's not the biggest, not the most stout, but really keeps those legs churning.
And again, Columbia goes to the ground as this one's going to be just shy of the goal line, as the Lions have found their money game. And it was Caden Bell keeping it himself.
Yeah, we talked about Jamison Wong's escapability, but really Caden Bell, he's done a great job using his legs to make plays right there. And that looked like a designed QB run right up the gut, but he's truly a dual threat, dynamic player.
A penalty coming against Cornell. The Lions will regroup here. There was too many men on the field.
One too many seniors trying to get in on senior day.
They're making the most of their opportunity. First and goal at the 2, direct snap, and the Lions are going to push through. It's a touchdown for Columbia, and it is Joey Georgie finishing off what he started to put the Lions on the board first.
Yep, you see that the Wildcat Lions chose to go with the Wildcat package. Joey Georgie taking it right up the gut there for a touchdown, and great first drive for Columbia. Really what you want to see. You wanted to see that first drive end up in a touchdown, and they get points on the board.
So Alex Felkins will come on to kick the extra point. He needs 4 extra points today to set the Columbia career record. And there is one in the books. And as it is now 7-0 in favor of the Lions here in the first quarter, as Columbia was able to put together a 7-play, 78-yard drive. And with that, we will step aside. Cornell's offense will have an opportunity to regroup, trailing 7-0 in this one. So here is another look at the Columbia touchdown, and they went right to Joey Georgie up the gut.
Yeah, right up the gut, finishing what he started. Great run there. I mean, we talked about how he just drives those legs so strong. He's not the biggest back, but powerful.
Yeah, that is his team-leading 5th rushing score of the season. As we look at the scoring drive, Georgie will have an opportunity to now watch his defense will go out there, but first Felkins set to kick off. And this one will once again bounce into the end zone for a touchback, which is exactly what happened on the opening kickoff. As Cornell's offense will come out for the second time today. They picked up 19 yards on their opening drive, and we saw an initial pass, and then after that it was all run.
Yeah, heavy dose of run, and obviously it's going to be a long game. And time of possession, right? We talked about how Cornell, they lead the league in time of possession. They want to run the ball, control the game, make it simple for Jamison Wong. We'll see what they come out with here.
2 receivers to the left. Wong's going to fake the handoff, trying to escape traffic, just flings the ball out into the flat. As Columbia once again applying the pressure, as you had Mitch Moyer there in the mix, as well as Townsend.
Yeah, you can see the defensive front for Columbia just getting pressure, rushing 4. Jamison Wong just nowhere to throw the ball, and it's going to be critical for the defensive front for Columbia to get pressure on Wong.
21 was in the vicinity of the pass.
Looks like Bagnoli wanted a intentional grounding there, didn't get it.
They said that the intended target was in the vicinity of the pass, so therefore Cornell will go to 2nd and 10 with Wong now under center. And somebody jumped early on this one as the flags come in all across the field. We'll wait for word from referee Antonio Marcella.
Yeah, you can see Columbia
Ball
was...
start, offense, number 15, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Columbia showing blitz. I think Cornell's O-line was getting a little nervous there, and they get him to jump.
That went against Hunter Delore, the tight end. So 2nd and 10 becomes 2nd and 15, and an offense that has struggled to put the ball through the air now is going to have to try to maybe gain some ground with their rushing game to make it a manageable 3rd down. And here they do, hand off, and the Columbia Lions run defense steps up as Drew Powell stopped by Justin Townsend, who nearly had another sack earlier on this possession.
Yeah, Justin Townsend just such a good pass rusher, but also really great with the run too. Locking down that run to the boundary side and gang tackling. Columbia's defense, they're playing with passion today.
Scott Valentes was involved in the stop too. No surprise, Columbia with one of the best run defenses, not just in the Ivy League, they are 5th in the FCS, giving up about 94 rushing yards per game. So 3rd and 13 for Jamison Wong and company. He's got a clean pocket, throws over the middle, and it is going to be intercepted by Seth Parker. And the Lions are in Cornell territory down at the 15 as Seth Parker comes through with his first career interception.
Yeah, the Columbia defense put Cornell in a tough position there, 3rd and 6. They don't want that, right? Seth Parker just making a great play on the ball and bringing it back for the return. Columbia's offense now has ball in the red zone, looking to put more points on the board. Not a good start for Cornell's offense. Not what they want to do either. They don't want long sticks. They want to, 2 to 3 yards per game or per rush.
Columbia has been so opportunistic this season. That is their 13th interception of the season, the 9th different player to record one as Georgie goes back to work, and Cornell's defensive line is right there to form a brick wall. They were not allowing him to have much room to maneuver.
Yeah, Georgie not getting much help from his offensive line there. Nothing to do there. It sets up a 2nd and 11.
Mason Iacovelli with the stop there. Cornell learned its lesson from Columbia's first possession where Georgie was able to do plenty of damage and then add the exclamation point with the score. He is still in the backfield with Caden Bell operating. Bell in and out of traffic, and he is going to get inside the 10-yard line. Now, did the ball come loose? And it did. Cornell is able to recover. One turnover leads to another. We're going to take another look, but so far it has been both defenses coming through. And Paul Lewis, the cornerback for the Big Red, able to make that key defensive play.
Yeah, I think Georgie here just trying to churn those legs a little too much. Safety comes up, rips it out. Let's see if his knee was down.
Hard to tell from that angle.
Hard to tell. They may take another closer look at this. Let's see.
Paul Lewis recovered. Trey Harris, number 1 who you see on the screen, he was the one it looked like that ripped it out. And it will be Cornell football. So the Lions unable to capitalize off of great field position. And how about the Cornell defense coming through with a fantastic stop there?
Yeah, and that's what they needed to do, right? Offense just comes up with an interception and get the ball back in the hands of Jamison Wong in this offense.
And Wong is going to hand it off to Holmes off the right side, tripped up, but he gets across the 15-yard line.
Here's another look at the fumble. Let's see. Yeah, it does look like his knee could have been down, but that's a big play for Cornell, right?
Hard to tell whether or not Landon, his body was partially on Trey Harris as he was rolling over.
Yep. Surprised they didn't take a closer look at that, but here we go, Cornell.
Wong's going to keep it himself. He's going to try to stiff arm Townsend, and he stopped at the 19. So we'll set up a manageable 3rd down.
This Columbia defense has been so good on 3rd down this season. Another critical one here early on in this game. I know Coach Stovall, defensive coordinator for Columbia, loves to bring pressure on third down, man pressure. We'll see if they do that here.
Cornell on a 3rd and 2 here with Wong under center. He's going to keep it himself. He's going to try to push the pile forward. This is going to be awfully close. We'll see where they spot the ball. And it looks like they're going to move the chains here on this one, as he was able to get the ball to the 21-yard line.
And that's what Joe Filippiano wants to do. He wants to make it 3rd and manageable, take the pressure off of Jamison Wong, and really move those chains, right? Those runs, the 3, 4, 3 yards per rush, and they get a first down there.
Cornell now 2 of 4 on 3rd down, as Wong continues to operate under center. He's going to hand off to Holmes, and Holmes dragged down immediately at the 20-yard line. Lost 1 on that one. And C.J. Brown, the linebacker for the Lions, in on the stop.
It'll be interesting to see if Cornell opens it up a little bit. You know, not getting a lot on the ground so far. You know, and Columbia's secondary has been a little suspect this year, giving up a lot of yards through the air, and see if Cornell can take advantage.
Wong is 0 for 3 with an interception. He's going to keep it again, and he's going to be bottled up. This Columbia defense is not giving him any flexibility. Anthony Russos with the stop, and that is going to set up a 3rd and long for Cornell.
Yeah, Anthony Russos, a junior, hasn't played too much this season, but really stepped in the last couple games and been a critical player on this defense. You see this, Jamison Wong, quarterback design run, and Russos just there to make the tackle. Great play.
Loss of 3 on the play. With that type of athleticism, Landon, you'd figure Anthony Russos may want to try out special teams like his brother Mike. I'm surprised he has not dabbled into that yet.
I'm sure Mikey's watching this game.
3rd and 13. Cornell trying to keep this drive alive. Wong gets rid of it. Glover makes the catch. And he is pushed out of play as he was just about to cross the 30-yard line, but clearly not enough to pick up the first down on this one.
42 defense. It's a 15-yard penalty. Added to the end of the run. First down.
And a gift, so Cornell will be able to keep this drive alive. Joshua Powell picking up the penalty.
Yeah, and that's a product of this Columbia's defense mentality, right? Get after the quarterback. And they're so good at pressuring the quarterback. Sometimes it's hard to, lay off when you see the prize.
And these are the mental mistakes, Landon, that Al Bagnoli has talked about all season. You have the fumble lost by Joey Georgie on a red zone opportunity, and now here on a 3rd down, roughing the passer. As Cornell inches closer to midfield, they fake the handoff. Wong looking for space. He dumps it off, and it's going to be incomplete. It was slightly behind Glover as he wasn't able to haul it in.
You can see his escapability, though. I mean, Wong just so fast, so dynamic. Really looked like he was going to run there, but last second pulls it out. Glover just can't make that catch. Looks like a knuckleball.
It does indeed. Tim Wakefield-esque.
Yes, very much so.
They've run the ball 11 times with 3 different individuals, 5 pass attempts, just 1 completion. Wong will hand it off, and Columbia's defense reads it perfectly. A short gain on that one for A.J. Holmes, and it's once again members of the secondary coming in. Aaron Brebner, Farad McCombs.
Yeah, especially in this defense, it's a base cover 4. You need your safeties there for run support, and we're seeing it early. Farad McCombs coming up, making a tackle there at the line of scrimmage.
Cornell 2 of 5 on third down today. A roughing the passer penalty on the last third down continued the drive. Wong's going to roll out. He'll fire right at the sticks. The catch is made by Glover, and that is going to be good enough for a first down. Boy, did he put a little extra mustard on that one.
Oh, yeah, he did, and you can see their philosophy, getting him out on the quarterback, roll out right here, and just a bullet right at the sticks. First down, Cornell.
No surprise, Wong turning to his most reliable offensive weapon. As Glover leads the team in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns this season. The fifth year out of Pasadena, California. So Cornell in Columbia territory. Wong has time. Over the middle, pass deflected and incomplete. Scott Valentes right in the center of that.
Scott Valentes so good at getting in those passing lanes at that middle linebacker position. He leads the league in interceptions and pass defended. He's just the heart and soul of this defense, all over.
It's his timing and anticipation, Landon.
Yeah.
He has such a good read.
Instinct. Yeah. You can see it.
Second and 10 for the Big Red. They put a man in motion. They hand off to Holmes, and he is once again stopped by this Columbia defensive front. Anthony Russos in on the stop.
Yeah, Cornell not getting a lot up the middle right now. It looked like a design power there. Columbia's defense just all over it.
And we have an injured Cornell player. That is Micah Sahakian, their left tackle. With that, we'll step aside with Columbia leading Cornell late in the first. The Ivy League on ESPN is brought to you by Athletic Brewing, great tasting, non-alcoholic craft beer. And by Spare Tonic. Don't be so thirsty. Drink Spare Tonic. Start of the second quarter here at Robert K. Kraft Field in New York City. Cornell facing a 3rd and 9 with Wong out of the gun. He keeps it himself. He's looking for space. He has it. And he is going to be pushed out of play as he crossed over the 40-yard line. We'll see where they mark the ball. They're going to put the ball at the 42-yard line.
Brings up a crucial 4th down, 4th and inches it looks like.
And right now the offense is staying out on the field. So this is the first 4th down opportunity for either team. We'll see if they do a quarterback keeper, which they did earlier in the game. And they do. Wong keeps it. He's pushing the pile forward. And it's all about where they spot this football. Columbia obviously making the case that it's a turnover on downs. They needed to get to the 43-yard line. The ball right now is, it looks just shy of the 43, but we're talking about a game of inches here. I would expect them to come out and take a measurement. As Al Bagnoli wanted clarification as well.
Yeah, you can see Coach here, known for being pretty animated on the sidelines.
You know that firsthand?
Oh, yes, very well. The sideline ref's best friend.
And this is going to be short. Columbia comes through with the stop, and the Lions will take over following the turnover on downs. C.J. Brown, Justin Townsend celebrating that stop.
Yeah, a crucial stop there on 4th down. Here's the replay, right up the gut. Jameson Wong just not getting enough push, and that Columbia defensive front coming up strong. Great stop. And now let's see what the offense can do. Are we going back to your playmakers, Libman, Canty? Get the ball downfield.
So an interception leads to a fumble, which leads to a turnover on downs. And Columbia taking over as Ryan Young spinning towards the 40-yard line as he's able to pick up about 3 yards.
Yeah, Ryan Young, the bowling ball. So tough to bring down for a defense and so quick on his feet too. Great back and one that'll go down in Columbia history.
And he was hurt at the beginning of this year, but once he came back, just provided an extra dimension to this rushing attack while complementing the emergence of Joey Georgie, who already has a touchdown in this game. And they're going to get the Cornell player jumping on this one.
Yeah, it looks like encroachment there.
Offsides, 48. Defense, 5-yard penalty. Second out.
Hunter Sloan picking up the penalty. And after a 3-yard run by Ryan Young, they get 5 more. It sets up 2nd and 2. Georgie out of the backfield. They give it to him, and he slithers through traffic as he is taken down at midfield, and that is going to be good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, this pair of backs is really thunder and lightning, right? Ryan Young, so stout. Joey Georgie just so fast, able to get that first down.
Bell surveying the field, stepping up. He's got room. Caden Bell will slide in just shy of the 40, but a nice gain there by the Lions quarterback.
Yeah, not trying to force anything there, right? Able to use his legs to pick up a big gang here, we see. Not trying to force the ball downfield, nothing open. And you can see he's getting more comfortable in the pocket. He's getting more comfortable leading this offense, and it's really paying dividends.
2nd and 4, they give it to Georgie. As Cornell trying to gang tackle him on that one, as he was trying to make his way to the 40-yard line, and they are going to move the chains. So yet again, hard running by this Columbia ground attack.
Both offenses trying to establish that run game, owning the line of the scrimmage. Columbia's having a little bit more success, and we'll see if they continue that on this drive.
Georgie, 7 carries for 32 yards. Now it's Ryan Young. He finds an opening on the right side, and it closes very quickly as the Cornell defensive front able to bring down the bowling ball.
Yeah, great patience there, though. You can see he kind of hesitates right when he gets the ball and able to find a little hole and pick up 2 yards.
They go again back to Ryan Young. He finds the right spot, and he is going to take a few defenders for a ride all the way to a first down as he gets down to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, great run here. The bowling ball, we call him. Ooh. Just so tough to take down one-on-one. Takes a four Cornell defenders to bring him down.
Trey Harris went mano-a-mano on that one, and it was Ryan Young that won, as Young again just hammering his way through the heart of this Cornell defense as he's taken down at the 20. And this is what we're seeing in terms of the Columbia backfield. You bring in Ryan Young for a few plays, then Georgie comes back. It's different style runners, Landon, that they have to deal with.
Exactly, and it's hard for the defense to get used to that, right? You get a fresh back on the field, and
here's Georgie trying to get to the 15.
Both running backs just run so hard. And for a defender, it's tough. You know, when you get a guy coming at you full speed downhill, it's tough to take him down. I have sympathy for defenders, though. I did do that.
You made quite the name for yourself in that department as they give it back to Georgie, and this time Georgie is able to find even more space to operate, and that is going to be good for another first down. So Columbia really taking a page out of Cornell's playbook, Landon, right?
Yep.
Cornell's known for these methodical, lengthy drives, but it's Columbia milking a lot of this clock.
Yeah, and they're having success, right? And I don't blame offensive coordinator Coach Babish going with the run here.
Bell out of the gun, fires. He hits his man. It's Luke Payton making a guy miss, and he's down at the 1. The tight end for the Lions showing his quickness after the catch.
Yeah, great route there. Gaten able to get the ball out, 3-step drop. The tight end, big target down in the red zone, always crucial to hit your tight end in the red zone. Not able to get in the end zone, but another good opportunity here for Columbia offense. And we see they're bringing in the same Wildcat package.
And this time it is Tyson Edwards, and Edwards is going to be stopped at the 2. They have run this play plenty of times. It actually has contributed to a few mishaps over the course of this season, including one against Princeton earlier this year.
Yeah, you know, it's hard, right? You're bringing in a guy that's not used to taking the snap. But obviously when you bring in that Wildcat package, you get that extra blocker in there, and they like that matchup.
So Edwards still in the backfield. Bell is going to hand it to him. He's pushing, and he's going to be stopped. Cornell's defensive front answering the call yet again. Jake Stebbins, their middle linebacker.
Yeah, really the heart and soul of this Cornell defense, able to stiff that one out and make a great play.
And they go again a third time, and this time it's a charm. Columbia with another rushing score, and this time it comes in the form of Tyson Edwards. His 3rd of the year, and the Lions make it a double-digit cushion.
Yeah, just right up the gut there. A heavy dose of this Lions run game. Cornell's going to have to adjust.
Alex Felkins coming in to kick the extra point, 1 for 1 today. He's nearing the all-time Columbia career extra point record. And this one is through for number 2. So that means he now needs 1 more extra point to tie for the record, 2 to break it. Tyson Edwards jumps on top of the pile into the end zone, and it's a 2-touchdown lead for the Lions. Nice scene here inside Lawrence A. Ween Stadium. A cold day, but a great day for football between Columbia and Cornell as they renew their rivalry, the 12th installment of the Empire State Bowl, as Cornell leads the series 6-5. As Alex Felkins kicks off, and Cornell is able to come across the 20-yard line for a short gain as Lions special teams celebrating along with their defensive backs as we step aside with Columbia in control.
All right, Columbia fans, it's time for the T-shirt toss, presented by the Columbia Alumni Association. Get on your feet. Who wants a T-shirt?
Cornell's offense back out on the field, trying to eat into this deficit of 2 scores with 8.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Wong out of the gun. He's going to dump it off into the flat, and a bunch of missed tackles by the Lions leads to a nice gain here by Cornell. It is Jaden Day with the yardage after the catch as he came out in motion out of the backfield.
Yeah, opening up in a empty package here. Able to get the ball in space and pick up 8 yards.
So Cornell digging deep into the depth chart to try to get their offense on track. As that was just the 3rd completion of the day for Wong. They fake the handoff. Wong has time to operate. He's going to float one out into the left flat. And the Lions defense able to make the stop. But after Cornell picks up the first down, that is Will Kenner on the reception.
Yeah, Columbia showing pressure. Jameson Wong able to escape that pocket and deliver a strike there for the first down. We've seen 2 passes so far. Cornell switching it up a little bit on offense and having some success.
7-yard catch for Kenner, the junior out of California, giving Cornell some space. Here's Holmes, and Holmes is going nowhere. Once again, Columbia delivering off the edge. Powell on the stop. So Cornell has success through the air, then they go back to the ground and they lose 3 yards.
Yeah, here we go. Jameson Wong under center, off tackle, and just nothing doing. Columbia's defensive line just making plays all over today.
They put Day in motion again. Similar play to the opener of this possession. He fires over the middle. It's caught. It's going to be short of the first down marker. But Nicholas LeBoy is able to haul it in, and this is going to set up a very manageable 3rd down. So they got some of that yardage back as he worked the middle of the field.
Yeah, and Cornell, they're at 2 of the last 3 plays, they've opened it up, right? This spread offense. Not typically what they're comfortable doing, but with this line defensive front, you need to open it up and get the ball in the hands of your playmakers in space.
And Wong is utilizing players that he doesn't necessarily lean on very often. There is a drop-off between Glubber and Robert, the tight end, and the rest of the wide receivers have not had a lot of opportunities. Holmes off the handoff. He's got it opening up the right side, and he is going to get more as he powers his way into Columbia territory. That is a first down and then some.
Yeah, great run here by Cornell. Just wide open hole there from that Columbia defensive front, and he's able to pick up a handful of yards there and keep the chains moving.
Aaron Brebner able to make a touchdown-saving stop there after Farad McCombs was unable to wrap him up. A 23-yard run for Holmes.
Important drive here for Cornell. They need to get points on the board here.
Wong will roll out. Cuts through the center of the defense. He crosses the 30 and tries to dive towards the 25. So a nice second effort there by Cornell's quarterback.
So dynamic. Didn't see anything open downfield and able to take that up for a gain of 8. And that's something Columbia's going to have to adjust to, right? I mean, he's truly a dual threat quarterback and able to extend those plays. It's probably one of the hardest things to do as a DB. Face one of these dual threat quarterbacks, you got to stay in coverage just a little bit longer.
And Columbia has seen this earlier this season when playing Dartmouth as well as Yale. But Wong is just somewhat cut from a different cloth as Holmes gets tripped up as he was right near the first down marker. We'll see where they spot it, but this is going to set up probably about a 3rd and 1. So they gave him a yard on that. And what we've seen is the popular play here, Landon, is Wong keeping it. But remember, the last time Columbia did make a stop.
Yeah, I think they need to change it up a little bit here on 3rd and short. That Lion defense just so stout up the middle. We'll see what they do here.
And this time they hand it off the conventional way to Holmes, and he is able to move it forward for a first down.
Yeah, it looks like standard power here. Able to pick up that first down. And Cornell having a pretty good drive here. Yeah, look, right off tackle. Great hit there. But not before that first down.
Cornell, 20 carries, 68 yards with a fresh set of downs here. Trying to find the end zone for the first time this afternoon. Wong has all the time in the world. Eludes one defender, and this one is going to sail out of play. He was trying to get Drew Powell up the sideline.
And that time Columbia's DB is able to provide some good coverage there, holding on for that extra 1, 2, 3 seconds. And Wong not able to find a receiver downfield.
So it's been a combination of Wong, Holmes, and Powell on the ground today. But this time they ran a play for Powell out of the backfield as a receiver. 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground. Holmes starts left, cuts back right, and that is another first down, and that was actually Powell on the carry. Nonetheless, it'll move the chains.
Cornell just running power, right? Able to find that hole. Pick up a great first down there. Great blocking by that offensive front for Cornell.
So that 11-yard pickup moves the ball to the 12-yard line. As we look at Powell's numbers, making his presence felt. He already has 3 carries. Keep in mind, only had 5 coming in on the season. They pitch it out to Holmes, and flags come pouring in. We'll await word from Antonio
Full
Marcelo.
start. 80, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And that is not what you want to see if you're the Big Red. William Enneking, the tight end, backs it up to a 1st and 15. And Cornell, Landon, has had some issues with penalties this season.
They have, and, you know, especially in the red zone, everything, points are premium, right?
They pitch it into the backfield, and Columbia had this one read very well. As Holmes was not able to find an opening on the right side, and looks like we have a shaken up player down for Columbia. And with that, we will step aside. It is Columbia leading Cornell 14-0 late in the second quarter. Well, a good sign for Columbia. Seth Parker able to get up under his own power, but you can see limping a bit as he heads back over to the sideline. The Columbia defensive back who had his first career interception earlier in this game. Right now, it's Cornell knocking on the door, trailing by 2 scores. They have been leaning heavily on the rushing attack. Wong operating under center. He fakes the pitch. He throws towards the sideline, and it's wide, incomplete. He was trying to get tight end Matt Robert. Cornell 5 of 9 on 3rd down. And this has been their struggle throughout the season, but they've been quite efficient today as we take another look.
Yeah, pressure by Knox here off the edge. Jamison not able to deliver that to his tight end, Robert, on the money, and brings up a pretty crucial 3rd down here. Cornell needs to put up points before the half.
James Knox forcing Wong to rush the throw. There's Holmes in the backfield to the left of Wong. Wong fires again towards the end zone, and it is going to be caught for a touchdown. Wow! Thomas Glover able to hold it a rocket as he comes through with his 5th touchdown of the season. And that is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Big Red.
Right indeed, and right on his head. Good coverage, but what a catch. Man-to-man down in the red zone. Throw it up to one of your playmakers, and Cornell gets some much-needed points right before half. Crucial.
Jackson Kennedy on to kick the extra point. And he comes through. So a 14-0 game becomes 14-7 thanks to Wong hooking up with his favorite target, Thomas Glover. As Wong surveying the field, he knew exactly who to go to. Glover up top, and it's a 1-possession game. We look at the scoring drive for Cornell. Well, this is exactly what their bread and butter has been all season long. 13 plays, 78 yards, over 7 minutes off the clock, and it's the dynamic duo of Wong and Glover had the perfect jump on that touchdown reception.
What a catch. And Cornell able to mix that up, run, pass. We saw good balance there from the offense and able to put together a great drive right before half, getting points on the board and making this a 1-possession game.
Jackson Kennedy on to kick off. Tyson Edwards is back there, and there will be no return on this one as it will bounce into the end zone for a touchback. So from an offensive standpoint, Cornell cuts it to the deficit here late in the first half, and now really the onus is on the Cornell defense here to try to keep this a 1-score game entering the locker room.
Yep, and Columbia gets the ball at half. So this is a big drive for the Cornell defense. Limiting points here be huge. Keep this one possession game.
Bell out of the gun. He'll roll out, and the pass is caught by Libman. He walks the tightrope up the sideline. And a nice gain there after the throw was a little low, but he made a nice adjustment to turn it into a sizable gain.
Yeah, Libman, one of Bell's go-to playmakers, able to make a good catch there and move the chains. Actually, second and short, not quite.
Yeah, it looked like he stepped out right before the marker.
And able to get out of bounds, too, and stop the clock.
They gave him 9 yards on the catch. Bell again has room to operate. He finds Libman again, takes it to the 45-yard line, and this time it indeed moves the chains.
Yeah, a little 2-minute offense here, no huddle. Caden Bell so dynamic in this offense. See if they can get points on the board here late in the first half.
Bell having the pressure collapse on him, and he's going to lose the ball. It's a slow roller, and it's going to go out of play as Columbia absolutely dodged a bullet there.
Lucky break there. And it looks like Caden Bell is going to be down. Took a blindside hit there.
Brody Kidwell is going to come in here on your screen.
Yeah, screaming in there and able to get that hand on the ball and force that fumble. But Cornell just not quite close enough to the ball, and it rolls out of bounds. Lucky break there for the Lions right before half.
So Bell a little shaken up. And he walks back to the sideline. Now keep in mind, with Joe Green out for the season, the backup quarterback for Columbia is A.J. Simpkins, a freshman out of Charlotte, North Carolina, has no appearances thus far this season. So the depth changes dramatically due to that Joe Green injury earlier this season.
Yeah, and both of these teams are familiar with adversity, to say the least. I mean, Cornell coming in with most of their running backs injured. Columbia dealing with some injuries here. Joe Green obviously out for the year. Last game of the season, I mean, Ivy League, 10 straight games, right? It's really hard to stay healthy that full season.
No buys.
No buys. Tough on the body. It's really that next man up approach, and see if Caden Bell can come back in this game. Looks like he is.
And Bell is back out on the field as we see Simpkins was getting ready just in case, but Bell able to regroup after the strip sack, but fortunately the ball bounced out of play. 2nd and 18 though. Bell trying to buy himself some more time on the hunt, and this is going to be out of play.
Yeah, great coverage there by Cornell's secondary. Aiden Bell rolling out to the right, not able to find anyone open, and does the smart thing, throws the ball away.
That was Max Lundeen in pursuit. He's their leading sack guy with 3 on the season. So 3rd and 18 here, and Landon, from Columbia's perspective, you want to be aggressive maybe to try to get a field goal, but you also got to be careful. Last thing you want to do is cough up the football here.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a run here.
12 men on the field, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So now each team is guilty of having an extra man on the field on each side, offense and defense. So, yeah, the seniors are itching to get their last licks in, apparently.
Last game of the season.
And that's a killer because you're backed up even more. And you figure run is the right way to go on a 3rd and 23, and Ryan Young is brought down at the 35-yard line. As Columbia at this point just content with that
Cornell
touchdown lead. Cornell, though,
timeout.
utilizing a timeout. As the Big Red want to see if maybe they can salvage something here at the end of the first half, because as you noted, Columbia won the coin toss and deferred. So the Lions will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. And here's an example of those negative plays coming back to bite Columbia, but a great effort by the Cornell defense, especially on the pursuit by their safety, Brody Kidwell, who really came out of nowhere to fluster Caden Bell.
Yeah, Cornell's defense coming up with a huge stop there right before half, and Cornell calling a timeout there, staying aggressive. They do have the wind at their back, so field goal's not out of question here with 24 seconds to go in the game, or in the half.
Will Hughes on to punt. He took over 3 games ago and really has helped stabilize an area of concern for the Lions. Thomas Glover, one of the players back to receive the punt. Hughes gets it off cleanly. And Cornell trying to create something here as Davin Kaiser is eaten up by the Columbia special teams, as he's just shy of the 35-yard line.
Kaiser reigning special teams Ivy League Player of the Week last week. Amazing return to seal that win, seal the victory over Buddy Tevens in the Big Green at Dartmouth.
Though I got to question Kaiser. Normally he's 0 in jersey number, right? The week after you get the touchdown, you really want to mess with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sporting number 2 today. So 12 seconds to go as we look at the time of possession. Still in favor of Cornell, but it's all about the points. Wong, he's going to overshoot his target, Glover, on that one.
Wong's passing complete, intended for Glover.
Yeah, 7 seconds to go in the half here. Looks like they need to get around 35, 40 yards to get into field goal position. One play.
And they're going to just go to the ground here. As Columbia's defense able to come through and make the stop at the 40, and that is going to do it for the first half. Cornell getting a late touchdown to put themselves on the board for the first time, as Columbia holding off the Big Red by 1 touchdown. And it's the ground attack setting the tone. Joey Georgie, the first man in, then Tyson Edwards joins the party. And Cornell trying to slow down this attack entering the second half. Back here at Lawrence A. Ween Stadium, it is Cornell trailing Columbia by 7 points, 14-7. It was a highly contested affair in the first half, so glad you could join us. Landon Beatty, Lance Meadow with you. And this is no different, Landon, than what we've witnessed right in recent history between these two teams. You throw out the records, normally it comes down to the wire.
Yeah, Cornell able to, withstand that early, entourage by Columbia, right? Coming out down 14-0. Cornell able to battle back and get within one possession. And, like we said, 3 out of the last 5 games in this series have been one-possession games.
And that's why we would not expect anything different. So let's find out how we got to this score as we take you through the highlights. As Landon alluded to, it was Columbia that came out on the attack, and here is their first possession. First, it goes to Marcus Libman for a big game. And then it's Joey Georgie finishing it off with a touchdown. And then after that, the Lions defense coming through Seth Parker.
Great play there by Seth Parker to turn the ball over.
So then Columbia able to capitalize. Luke Payton, the 11-yard reception, and that spotted up Tyson Edwards. Third time apparently was a charm for them. It took them a few opportunities. Then here is how Cornell got on the board, Landon.
Yeah, what an amazing catch there, and a frozen rope, we like to say, from Jameson Wong. Able to get it within one possession right before half, and like we said, it's another close one, rivalry game.
So these are the halftime stats brought to you by Ticket Smarter. And you look at the numbers that stand out. Cornell with the edge in time of possession. Each team has turned it over. And Cornell, 60% conversion rate on third down. That's a big turnaround based on the season trends. But we'll see whether or not they can do some damage through the air. Just 58 passing yards, though they did have the touchdown strike between Wong and Glover, which cut this deficit in half as it is 14-7 at the break. And with that, we will step aside. When we come back, we'll have the start of the second half, the 12th installment of the Empire State Bowl. Ryan Young, one of the 32 seniors being honored today, as Columbia leads Cornell by 7 here at the break as we inch closer to the start of the second half. And Ryan Young, you look at where he is in comparison to some of the other great Lions running backs, he is smack in the middle of that conversation, Landon.
And he's been like that for 4 years, right? And actually, this is his 5th year now. But I remember as a freshman coming in, he's built so stout, able to keep those legs turning, and he really is the hallmark here at this Columbia program.
So effective in absorbing contact and then still finishing. He's been a key piece of this rushing attack and trying to make the most of this moment in his final game as a Columbia Lion, as he is on the field for the kickoff to start the third quarter along with Joey Georgie. Lions won the toss. They elected to defer, so that is why they are getting it to begin the second half. As Jackson Kennedy will kick off. The junior out of Virginia. There's Joey Georgie. Productive first half for him with 38 rushing yards and a touchdown. And we are off and running here in the third quarter as this will head into the end zone for a touchback. Lions will begin their drive at the 25. An opportunity for Caden Bell and company to get back out on the field. Their last possession, Cornell's defense was on the attack. Caden Bell got roughed up. A lot of negative plays. You had a penalty as well. Some of those things wanting to clean up here as they start the second half.
Yeah, exactly. And they had success there late in the first half with the run. See if they can establish that running game again.
Georgie out of the backfield to start. He gets the handoff, and he goes right into the middle of the Cornell defense, taken down at the 35-yard line. So a first down run is the way you want to start the third quarter.
Yeah, Georgie just so quick to the hole, able to get up to that second line of defense. Great gain there on first down.
So they're going to give him 9 on that. And Georgie will tiptoe his way through traffic to now officially make it a first down. Cornell was arguing that they grabbed a loose ball. That was Connor Henderson. But Georgie was clearly down.
Yeah, as a defender, you're always trying to
gotta sell it.
Stake your case.
So a pair of runs for 12 yards for Georgie. This time they fake it. Play action. Bell firing, and he has his man, Bryson Canty, into Cornell territory, taken down at the 31.
Yeah, great play call here by Mark Fabish, able to max protect, and looked like max protect here. Caden Bell able to look at that scissor route and deliver a great strike there to Canty.
And immediately they go back to work as Georgie inching closer to another first down. And that's what Columbia does. They wear you down with the run, Landon, to then open things up through the air.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, when you have dynamic playmakers like Canty and Libman, as well as Georgie and Ryan Young, it's a difficult offense to defend.
Bell quietly 5 of 7 for 115 yards. Here's Ryan Young. He is still moving that pile forward, and that is going to be good for a first down. The physicality of the Lions' attack in the trenches on full display.
Eerily similar to that first drive they had, able to establish the run, get a big play through the air. Now they're in the red zone. Great first drive to open up the second half here by the Lions.
Georgie comes through with a 6-yard run. Young follows through with the same distance. And now they operate out of the gun. Bell is being chased out of the pocket. He's going to take off himself. He's got an alley. And that is, again, quick timing decision by the Columbia quarterback to set up a very manageable second down.
Yeah, great play here by Caden Bell. Able to escape the pocket, escape the pressure, no one downfield, make the smart play and pick up first down.
So they move the chains. Ryan Young up the middle, still on his feet, and finally brought down at the 2. As Cornell's defensive front has been tested all throughout this drive. And you can tell the Lions are moving quickly here. 2nd and 2 now. Bell calls for it. He gives it to Young, and all of a sudden, we have a stoppage of play.
Timeout, Cornell. First charge timeout.
Yeah, you could see Coach Archer there screaming down to get that timeout. Lions taking out a great first drive of the second half, and we'll be back shortly.
Columbia in the midst of a 7-play, 73-yard drive. They have a 2nd and goal. Already 2 rushing scores, and you could give Columbia 3. And it's only appropriate that this time it's Ryan Young on senior day finding the end zone. 3 different backs, 3 different touchdowns, and Columbia further pads its lead.
Great opening drive of the second half here. Finishing off with Ryan Young on senior day. Give it a little dance.
He certainly found the groove on that possession.
Oh, yeah.
And Falcons now can tie the Columbia all-time extra point record with this extra point. He's 2 for 2 on the day. Luke Eddy set the mark from 2010 to 13 with 72 points. And Luke Eddy needs to make room atop the all-time list as Alex Falcons, yet another senior, putting his stamp on the Columbia record books with the Lions now restoring their 2-touchdown lead. It's all been the ground attack. Ryan Young muscling his way to a score. So here is Alex Falcons tying the extra point record for a career at Columbia, getting some congrats from his teammates. He has not attempted a field goal thus far today. He's also nearing some milestones in that department, but it's been all touchdowns for the Lions as they lead Cornell 21-7, and Falcons will now kick off with the Big Red looking for a spark in the return game. As we look at the numbers from that drive, that is a wear-it-down type of drive to open up the third quarter. And Falcons trying to keep it away from some of the dazzling weapons for Cornell, and the Lions special teams unit laying the brick. as Tyson Edwards, he does it in the running game, and he does it on special teams. And I stand corrected, that is actually Kobe Cruz with the stop.
Flying down on kickoff and just delivers the boom there. Wow. Great start here by the Lions in the second half.
Indeed. So Cornell's offense out there with Wong out of the gun. He's got some time. He throws over the middle. And is this going to be incomplete or caught? It looks like it'll be incomplete. They're going to say that LeBoy did not get both hands underneath.
Cornell opening up to start this drive. Looks like Hitches just not able to secure that catch. Yeah, the ball hits the turf right there.
Bounced off of his hands onto the ground. So 2nd and 10 now for the Big Red. They're going to hand it off initially to Holmes, fake it, and Wong's going to keep it. And he is awfully close to the first down marker thanks to his running ability. And he alone has really given Cornell some manageable third down attempts in this game.
He's dynamic. He's really dynamic. Gives Cornell a short third down here, but a crucial third down on your opening drive in the second half. Need to convert if you're Cornell here.
And they are 6 of 10 on third down today. Those numbers skyrocketed compared to their season average, just 36%. They go to the ground, and the Lions defense had a good read. Let's see where they spot this. It was A.J. Holmes, and they're going to move the chains on this one. It looked like Columbia got enough penetration there initially, and then Holmes fought through it.
Yeah, good penetration there by the Lions D, but not enough at 3rd and short, able to pick up that first down.
So the clock ticking away here for the Big Red, huddling up.
Not something you see very often in football these days.
Everybody always has the itch and the urge to constantly get back out on the field and catch the defense off guard. Kaiser is there in motion. Wong is going to keep it, and again, a nice alley, and he takes a hard hit on his back by Farad McCombs. But there's another strong gain on the ground by Cornell's quarterback.
Yeah, it looked like a design QB draw here. Jameson Wong takes a step back, and able to pick up 6 yards there. Takes a big hit. He's a tough guy, though.
Wong has run the ball 10 times for 48 yards today. Nearly 5 yards a carry. He comes in on the season averaging just over 4 yards per carry. And this time they go the conventional route, and the Lions defense able to swallow, once again, this Cornell running game up, as that was Drew Powell and Mitch Moyer there for the stop.
Yeah, Columbia's defense is all over the field. They fly around and gang tackle, and that's really the keys to defense.
You just wonder, Landon, if Cornell wants to get back in this game, eventually they're going to have to try to catch Columbia off guard through the air here.
Yeah, exactly. I think they need to open it up a little bit more. Let Jamison make some plays here.
3rd and 3 to keep this drive alive. Wong keeps it again, and he is going to be taken down for no gain. Once again, the Columbia defense coming through with 3 different players in on the mix, including Mitch Moyer and Anthony Russos.
Yeah, we've seen this play a couple times now, the design QB draw. Columbia's defense not fooled there on 3rd down, maintained their gaps, and able to get off the field. Good start here by Columbia's defense.
So Aiden McCarter coming out to punt. Cardin McFadden awaiting it on the other end. McCarter sends it right to McFadden for the fair catch at the 29-yard line. That is where Columbia will come out to work on offense once again with the Lions leading Cornell by 2. So let's take a look at the up-to-date Ivy League standings. Yale and Princeton coming into the last games tied for first place. You also have, of course, Penn and Harvard still alive in the mix. And here are the scores. Yale playing Harvard in a game that kicked off at noon Eastern. And it's Yale up by 5 late in the 4th. Princeton handling its business in New Jersey, leading Penn by 12. So far it is looking good for both of the teams entering today tied for first place. In the event they both win, they will both share the Ivy League title. For Princeton, it'll be the second straight year in which they get a share of the title as the Lions offense coming back out on the field. Fresh set of downs here to start at the 29. They hand it off to Georgie, in and out of traffic, and Georgie gets all the way to the 35-yard line. And that is just a glimpse of what he's been doing all afternoon. Just picking his spots, Landon, and finding a way to maneuver.
Yeah, great vision all day from Georgie.
So a 6-yard gain. Bell will hold on to it. He takes a hit, throws deep down the field. He's got his man, and it's incomplete. As he was trying to get it deep down the field as he absorbed a hit in the process. That was Bryson Canty.
Yeah, pressure right in Caden Bell's face. Able to deliver a great ball, but just right outside the receiver's stretched arms. That's Canty there, not able to bring that one in, but a great catch, great throw there by Caden Bell.
So 3rd and 4 here for the Lions. They go back to the ground, and Georgie is going to get the first down, and he's still mowing his way through traffic. He loses the ball, but it looks like he jumped right back on it, and it will keep the ball in possession for Columbia.
Yeah, it looked like he lost it, but actually able right up the gut. Georgie, so quick through the hole. Got to protect the ball there. Fumbles and actually able to recover it on his own. Pretty lucky there. Lucky bounce there for the Lions.
Nice punch out by Cornell. Columbia now operating in Cornell territory. Ryan Young is going to lose some yardage there as we see Georgie's numbers. He's already up to 90. Longest run coming moments ago for 25 yards for him. And this has allowed Caden Bell to have a very efficient game. He hasn't had to shoulder the load other than that hit that he took on the last pass to Canty. Hasn't seen a lot of pressure. It's the Lions offensive line establishing its point of attack. Bell trying to dump it off there to Ryan Young, and it falls short.
Great pressure there by Cornell's front. Looked like a blitz off the edge, and Caden Bell not able to deliver a strike there. Brings up a 3rd and 10.
Rick Coleman you're going to see coming in on the blitz. And that's what flustered Caden Bell. Coleman, a freshman out of Ohio, he has been a key contributor throughout the course of this season, as he's appeared in 8 of their 9 games. Bell has all the time in the world. Deep down the field, towards the end zone, and incomplete, but a flag comes in. He was trying to get Bryson Canty.
Ball looked to be a little underthrown. Tough play for that DB. Looks like he made a little
Pass
contact.
interference. Defense, number 6. It's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Lions went to that bunch set, trying to get that scissor concept. Bell underthrows it a little bit, and that DB just makes a little contact a little too early. I've been there. It's not a fun place to be.
Well, Rick Coleman never looked back for the football, Landon.
Yep.
I think if he does that, then you could sell that it's not a penalty under those circumstances. So the Lions now with a fresh set of downs. Bell goes across the field. He's able to make a completion there to J.J. Jenkins, who's knocked out of play as he crosses the 15 and gets taken out of play at the 13. And that is Jenkins' first catch of the afternoon. It really has been Libman, Canty, and Payton. That's just the fourth player to haul in a pass today, as they have leaned heavily on the run. Bell with the pocket collapsing, dumps it off again, and Cornell is able to make the stop at the 10-yard line. That was Paul Lewis on the tackle, able to bring down Ernest Robertson, who dealt with a knee injury earlier this season, but it's certainly good to see him back out on the field.
Yeah, fifth-year senior, last time out. Great to get him involved.
So a 3-yard pickup, 2nd and 7 here for the Lions. They bring back Ryan Young. Ryan Young brings it down towards the 5-yard line. And that's the thing, Landon, that we see once again. The Lions, they're forcing Cornell to tackle them out in open space, and then they play bully ball with the ground.
Yeah, and they've really established the line of scrimmage, right? I mean, we've seen this stable of backs consistently get 3, 4, 5 yards, and then Joey Georgie breaking one early on this drive.
3rd and 3. Bell going into the corner of the end zone, and another flag comes in. 2 flags, actually, as Lewis and Demetrius Harris were in the vicinity.
Yeah, it looked like Lewis.
Holding. Defense, number 0. Half the distance from the original line of scrimmage. First down.
It's going to go against Paul Lewis, their top corner, who leads the team in passes defense. Actually leads the Ivy League in that category, but it's the 2nd costly penalty for the Big Red on this drive. Lions have 3 rushing scores in this game already. They give it to Ryan Young. He's got 1. He's trying to fight his way for a 2nd. We'll wait for a signal, and it is good for a touchdown. Ryan Young, an encore performance to remember, and the Lions celebrating all with their seniors in a 27-7 game.
Ryan Young right up the gut. Senior day, 2 touchdowns for him. He must be happy.
And Alex Felkins now, thanks to Ryan Young, can set the Columbia career extra point record. He is now tied with 72 points. In a knot with Luke Eddy. And Alex Felkins, no one has kicked more extra points successfully than that young man. One senior gets the touchdown, another senior sits atop the record books, and it's a 28-7 game in favor of Columbia.
Another solid drive by this Columbia offense, able to establish the run. Benefited from 2 penalties there in the red zone, but overall pretty strong performance here in the second half by this Columbia offense. And Ryan Young gets his 2nd of the day on senior day.
Columbia has pounded the ball for 150 yards on the ground, and here's another drive, 9 plays, 71 yards. They took nearly 4 minutes off the clock. I alluded to it earlier, Landon. It's almost like they're subscribing to Cornell's thinking. This is what Cornell does so well all season.
Yeah, and they're really taking a play out of Cornell's playbook, right? Time of possession, long drives, methodical drives. Able to put points on the board. Solid performance all around by this Columbia offense.
Columbia up to over 18 minutes in time of possession. There's just a 4-minute disparity between these teams, with Cornell leading. And this ball is going to bounce out of play.
Kickoff, out of bounds. By rule, ball be placed 30-yard line. First down.
So that is a friendly bounce for the Cornell Big Red as they look to jumpstart their offense. Alex Felkins, we referenced where he stands in the record book. And you see in just about every category he has delivered. He has not had to attempt a field goal thus far because the field goal record is also within striking distance, but the Lions, they're more content with scoring touchdowns. Cornell would like to find the end zone as Wong operates out of the gun. The jump pass dangerous through 2 defenders, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to get it to Glover. And that was a lot of bodies that he was trying to thread the needle. Wong is just 6 of 16 for 58 yards with a touchdown and an interception. His true identity clearly comes on the ground. As they hand it off, and Patrick Pasalakwa meets his man at the point of attack.
Yeah, nothing doing there for Cornell. Columbia owning the line of scrimmage there, not giving much room. Brings up a 3rd and long here for this Cornell offense that does not like to be in these situations, right? I mean, we've seen it all day. Cornell trying to limit those long 3rd down plays, and now we're in a passing situation.
And we've seen Wong take off even on some of these 3rd and longs. They're 7 of 12 as a team, but to your point, Landon, it limits what you could do from a play calling standpoint. And he is going to take off, but he's got to try to solve the Columbia riddle. And remarkably, Jamison Wong works his magic, and that is good for a 1st down.
We've seen it all day. Jamison Wong able to make plays with his feet, extend plays. Looked like there was a little bit of pressure in his face. And able to dissect that Columbia defense, get that 1st down. Big 1st down here for Cornell to stay in this one.
Scott Valentes brought him down after he made Anthony Russo's miss. They send Kaiser in motion. And Wong's going to go deep down the field. And is that going to be good for a catch? No, they're going to say he stepped out of play. It will be an incomplete pass as he was trying to hook up with Will Kenner.
Yeah, and we've seen that motion before, that orbit motion by Kaiser. Draws the defensive eyes. And they tried to hit him on the wheel, but just could not keep it in bounds. Brings up a 2nd down.
We were talking with Al Bagnoli earlier this week. He mentioned how important it is when you go against a Cornell team to be well-disciplined, down in distance. As they hand it off to Kaiser, and he is going nowhere as you had McCombs and Russos in the vicinity to make sure they could contain him. Kaiser listed at 5'7", 146. He has now expanded his role due to injuries as an offensive player, but clearly he's been known as a special teams weapon here in his freshman year. So a 3rd and 10 here for the Big Red. Wong on the last one, he ran and was able to move the chains. As we see his numbers on the afternoon. They fake the handoff, Wong keeps it, and he's tripped up. Anthony Russos, who missed him on the last one, redeems himself the 2nd time around.
Yeah, looked like a QB-designed run here on 3rd down, trying to get Wong out. But just not able to escape Anthony Russos there. Great tackle there by the junior.
And Cornell is going to keep its offense out on the field here on a 4th and 7. They're 0 for 1 on 4th down. As they were stopped on a 4th and 1 earlier in the game. Out of the gun, Wong pressured, an all-out blitz. He's going to get rid of it, and it's a reception at midfield, taken in by Matt Robert, the tight end, but it is short of the sticks, And the Lions force a turnover on downs as they brought the house on that one,
They
Landon.
really did. Yeah, fourth down, excuse me. Bringing the pressure. Jamison Wong just not able to get enough yards there on that reception and turns the ball over.
We take a look at the Empire State Bowl Trophy 2017, a matchup in Ithaca as Cornell plagued by turnovers. We will revisit that. Lions offense not cooperating, rushing us along here on the broadcast is Ryan Young. He wants more carries. This is his last opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Can't
Don't
blame him for that.
Don't blame him.
So the reason why we needed to come back to this was because my partner, we had to showcase what you were able to do during your playing days at the expense of the Big Red here.
Oh, yeah. Remember that fondly, 2017. Got an interception onto an 8-2 season there. But always a difficult time playing against Cornell. It's a rivalry game, hard-nosed football team. Always left feeling pretty sore after that one.
And it's been a lot of close affairs. Ryan Young knows what it's like to feel sore as he is hammered down at midfield for no gain there. And that was another strong play out of the secondary by Brody Kidwell. And that is going to do it for the third quarter, with Columbia leaning on the ground attack in front of Cornell, 28-7. Ryan Young, his last game as a Lion. Do not deny this man from getting into the end zone. The Ivy League on ESPN is brought to you by Athletic Brewing, great tasting, non-alcoholic craft beer. And by Spare Tonic. Don't be so thirsty. Drink Spare Tonic. Breakdown of the game thus far through three quarters. Columbia outscoring Cornell by 2 touchdowns in the third as the Lions offense goes back to work. Bell able to hook up with Bryson Canty for a first down as the Lions moving deep into Cornell territory. That is Canty's second catch of the afternoon.
They haven't needed much out of Libman or Canty today with the run game. Just so strong, so dominant.
The offensive line has been going forwards much more so than backwards in pass protection today. And I'm sure they won't be complaining about that. Georgie is going to be stopped immediately on the handoff. This Cornell defense has had its hands full trying to slow down the three-headed monster that the Lions throw out there. They are going to give Georgie 1 yard on that one. Bell airs it out. And Bell is able to hook up with his man, J.J. Jenkins. Talk about an exclamation point. The Lions, they wear down Cornell with the ground attack, and then they catch them off guard through the air. Bell coming through big time with that hookup to Jenkins.
And a great play here by Caden Bell. Great throw, right on the money. Give your playmakers a chance to make a play.
So Felkins will come out to kick his 5th extra point. He already has the record. This is just now icing on the cake. And it is through. 35-7. Columbia strikes yet again after the turnover on down. Some extracurricular activities here at Lawrence A. Weed Stadium as the Lions going deep. Bell finds Jenkins. So let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Yale topped Harvard, so that means they have clinched at least a share of the Ivy League title. Princeton is leading Penn, and if that score holds up, then Yale and Princeton will share some hardware. As Cornell back out with their offense, Wong, he's going to go deep down the field into no man's land, out of play.
We've seen this a couple times now. Cornell trying to move the pocket because Columbia's defensive line just getting so much pressure. Wong unable to find anyone down deep and brings up a 2nd and 10.
This is the complete opposite of their game against Dartmouth last weekend when it was a relatively low-scoring game. They got a special teams touchdown. They dominated time of possession. As Wong will roll out again, and he will throw it towards the 40-yard line. Robert holds it in and spins and picks up the first down. So his security blanket, the tight end, coming through.
Surprised we haven't seen more out of him today. I think he's at one target. Really Wong's safety blanket there, and picks up a good first down for the Big Red.
Pickup of 21 yards. Wong is going to dump it off to Powell, and Powell can't even hold on to it. So that'll fall incomplete.
2nd and 10.
That was Robert's second catch. He's had 4 targets. Glover, their top receiver, 7, and he has caught 3. And outside of that, everybody else has 2 or 1. Can somebody provide a spark for this Big Red offense as we look at the difference in passing yards? Wong now goes left this time, and that one is hauled in by Glover, who comes through for his quarterback, and Cornell now showing some signs of life through the air.
Once again, rolling the pocket. Looks like they're flooding the zone here. And able to pick up that first down. Great catch.
Robert and Glover. As Wong once again surveying the field, he's going to take off himself, and he picks up about a yard as he was pushed out of play. And Scott Valentes and C.J. Brown able to hustle all the way to the sideline. And that is going to be good for a first down, as once again, Wong, this time LeBoy. So that's the 3rd different target that has made a reception on this drive. They hand it off to Powell, and Powell dragged down. You look at the rushing numbers for Cornell, they have 123 rushing yards, but Wong's responsible for half of them with 64. And there is an injury timeout on the field. It is Columbia up big over Cornell here in the 4th.
Return to the Morningside campus from the corner of 218th Street and Broadway. The Columbia Alumni Association connects alumni across all ages in Columbia schools with more than 100 regional clubs and shared interest groups, a powerful professional network, and more than 200 events around the world each year. The team at Columbia Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is proud to serve as team physicians for the Columbia Lions. Learn how they can help you get back to the top of your game. Visit columbiaortho.org for more information.
James Knox was the injured player for Columbia, but he did get up under his own power and walk off the field. So play resumes here, 2nd and 9 for the Big Red. Wong, quick release. LeBoy again, just shy of the first down marker, but they'll need about 2 yards to pick up the first down.
And brings up 3rd down. And 2.
Cornell 8 of 14 on 3rd down today. Wong, he'll take it himself, brought down by C.J. Brown. And that should be good enough to move those chains.
It's really been a one-man show today for this Cornell offense. Jameson Wong doing it all.
And I'm sure he'll have the bruises after this game to account for
yeah.
that. As Wong over the middle. And Glover somehow is able to make that catch after it was nearly picked off.
Yeah, great catch here by Glover. Right across the middle. I think it was man coverage. Able to beat his man and set up 1st and goal.
Wong, he'll hand it off. Powell taken down at the 5. So here's another look at the pass to Glover, and you're going to see nearly intercepted by Brebner. Wong fires into the end zone, and that is going to be a touchdown for Matt Robert, the tight end, his 3rd of the season, and Wong's 2nd strike as Cornell finds the end zone for the 2nd time this afternoon.
Yeah, and great display of passing game, right? We talked earlier about them being pretty one-dimensional this whole game, and Wong able to find some receivers downfield and establish that passing game and get a touchdown.
Jackson Kennedy on to kick the extra point. And it is a 35-14 game with just under 10.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. A significant scoring drive for Cornell. Matt Robert getting the better of Farad McCombs to put Cornell on the board. Jackson Kennedy will kick off for Cornell following their touchdown drive. Jameson Wong able to connect with Matt Robert from 5 yards out. And a short kick by Kennedy, trying to see if Columbia can make a move, and that is a fortunate bounce that will stay with the Lions. As Carter McFadden initially lost it and then was able to recover it.
Yeah, a little pooch kick here by Cornell, catches them off guard.
Columbia will start its drive first.
Columbia able to recover that. Lucky bounce there for the Lions.
Hunter Sloan, the linebacker, nearly recovered it. Columbia moving personnel around. The Canty out in motion. They flip it to Young. And Young in and out of traffic, and he's got open space. Ryan Young, a man on a mission, a stiff arm, and he gets all the way into Cornell territory. Columbia relentless from start to finish.
And a great play call there by Coach Mark Fabish.
And Columbia
Able to pitch it underneath right to Ryan Young. Ryan Young, patience, finds the hole. Look at that speed. He's not just a bowling ball. He's not tough to take down.
They give it to Young again, and it appears he ran out of some gas on that last one.
I don't blame him.
As Cornell able to make the stop. A 48-yard run prior to that. As Ryan Young jogs off the field and gets some handshakes and pounds from his teammates.
2nd and 8 from the 32-yard line.
And for the sake of those scoring at home, that goes down as a reception, not a run. So had he gotten that as a run, we would have been talking about knocking on the door of another 100-yard game for him. Now Georgie comes in, and Georgie gets the brunt of the Cornell defensive line, bringing him down.
Henderson on the stop.
Connor Henderson credited with the stop.
3rd and 7.
That'll set up 3rd and 7 here for Columbia. It's the Lions trying to milk some clock here. Columbia approaching 400 total yards of offense. Bell keeps it himself. And Bell is brought down and loses his helmet in the process.
He's got to leave for one play.
So he has to come off the field as a result of that. And that means we should perhaps see A.J. Simpkins, unless they want to run a wildcat.
Bell just takes a big hit there on this designed QB power. Loses his helmet, but he's a tough guy. He seems all right. Here's the replay. Running left. Ooh, delivers the boom. Loses the helmet.
That was Connor Henderson again.
He's pointing first down. He's nowhere near the first down.
Timeout.
I got to give him some brownie points for the
First charge,
creativeness. I mean,
timeout.
you're really
Be a
selling it.
30-second timeout.
That's a
If
bold
you're
strategy. Bold
Well
strategy.
short of the marker and still trying to maybe get the referees to buy in. So a timeout taken here. The Empire State Bowl has provided plenty of highlights over the years. We go back to 2018. Anthony Russos' brother, Mike Russos. A remarkable performance on special teams. Not just one return, but 2, as Columbia walked off in style with a late touchdown.
I remember that one. Tears streaming down my face as I saw Mikey Russos jumping in that end zone. Great way to cap off my 5th year and my career here at Columbia.
So on 4th and 5, the offense stays on the field. And this pass, is it a tie between the defender and the receiver? Well, Canty's able to make the catch. And that is good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, it looks like forward progression here. Able to right at the sticks, and Canty strong with the hands, able to hold on to that ball. First down, Columbia.
And that was Caden Bell that made the pass, because remember, a timeout was called after the play. So that's why they were able to put him back on the field despite the fact that he lost his helmet on the previous one. We thought A.J. Simpkins would get a taste of the field, but timeouts interrupted that as the Lions hand it off now to Canty. Canty maneuvers his way through traffic.
And Columbia keeping their foot on the pedal here, going for it on 4th down. Opening up the playbook a little bit. It is senior day. Put on a show for the final time here at Robert Kraft Field.
And keep in mind, you've got 5 seniors on the offensive line. So more of a reason why perhaps the coaching staff wants to show them some love based on what they were able to put forth specifically on the ground today to open up the holes. As we approach 6.5 minutes, here's Ryan Young. And Ryan Young able to get down to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, kudos to that offensive line, the Columbia offensive line. They've 5 seniors, as you mentioned. They've really put on a show here today at senior day.
Game 2, 3rd and 6.
So they give him 2 yards on that. We look at Ryan Young's totals. 2 touchdowns and that 48-yard catch and run. And he operates out of the backfield. Here's Bell out of the pocket. Bell taking off, and Bell gets down near the 10-yard line.
Looks like he did have Canty there in the end zone, but decides to tuck it and run and pick up that first down. Solid decision making all day from Caden Bell. And you can see he's getting more and more comfortable after taking over for Joe Green midway through this season.
Well, Bell is taking what Cornell has to offer him today. He's not trying to press the envelope. They have leaned heavily on the rushing attack as Al Bagnoli felt this was going to be a game which was going to be dictated by down and distance and well-disciplined play. And his team has answered the call as they are once again threatening in the red zone. And we're going to have a stoppage of play.
Timeout, Columbia. Second charge timeout. Be a 30-second timeout.
So the Lions want to talk things over, as that will leave them with just 1 timeout remaining. This has been a very impressive performance since the start of the game. Is Columbia trying to send off its seniors in style?
And it's not only about the seniors, too. It's about building momentum as you come into the offseason. It's always better to finish off with a win. Go into offseason lifting, winter workouts, spring ball. It's important for the young guys, too.
And this is going to be a Cornell team that has already guaranteed a finish at 500 for the first time since 2011, regardless of the setback today, as they give it to Ryan Young, and Ryan Young is wrapped up and taken down by Demetrius Harris.
Demetrius Harris on the stop.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Archer earlier this week. Cornell plays a really difficult non-conference schedule, so to go 500 with their schedule, it's a testament to this team, testament to the players, the coaches. And I'm sure with Wong back next year, they'll get it going in the right direction.
After he made strides this season when he wasn't the every down quarterback last season, so something for them to build upon. Second and 8. Pocket collapses. Bell into the end zone and incomplete. Broke it up by Harris. They were trying to get the ball to Ernest Robertson, yet another senior.
Intended for Robertson.
Robertson battled some injuries early on this season. Trying to get him a touchdown here on senior day. Just unable to secure that ball. Brings up a 3rd down and 7, 8.
That was a good play by Harris to knock the ball away, get a hand in to disrupt Robertson. We'll head back to the sideline. Columbia with 5 touchdowns on the day. Can they make it 6? Bell back to the end zone and just over the head of Jenkins.
Intended for Jenkins. It brings up 4th down.
So the special teams unit will come out, and that means Alex Felkins will have his first field goal attempt.
Felkins on for the field goal attempt.
It's going to be a 28-yard field goal. Felkins this season is 2 for 3 between 20 and 29 yards. And Felkins adds on to his perfect day as he is able to drill his 11th field goal of the season after he set the extra point record. He's probably not going to get the field goal record, but nonetheless, a very strong finish to his season.
Strong lineage of Columbia special team players, kickers. Falcons earlier this week entered the transfer portal, graduate transfer portal, and will look to continue on his career in Division I.
And the Lions have some track record at sending on kickers and punters. Some refer to, I know he is a field goal kicker, but some refer to Columbia as Punter U as a result of all of the players that have gone on. And it's only appropriate that number 28 comes through with a 28-yard field goal, which could very well be his last kick as a Columbia Lion. And a week after the Lions put up 31 points in an overtime win, they surpassed that total with 38. As Falcons will send one into the end zone for a touchback.
Falcons kickoff goes for a touchback. Cornell started Stroud first.
We look at his numbers on the season. The 53-yarder came in the opener at Marist, and he also became the first kicker in Ivy League history to convert 3 50-yard field goals in his career. You name it, Falcons has done it. It's Cornell's offense back out on the field. Last drive, it was Wong who was able to spread the wealth and finish it off with a touchdown. He goes towards the sideline and not on the same page with Will Kenner there.
Wong's pass incomplete, intended for Kenner. 2nd and 10.
Wong rolling out of the pocket. He's going to take off himself. And he'll step out of play near the 30.
Carried by Wong.
As the Lions were able to force him towards the sideline with some pressure there. As the clock continues to run.
3rd and 7.
As we approach 3.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The final game of Ivy League play for both of these teams. Wong, another reception there for Robert.
Wong's pass complete to Robert.
As he's knocked out of play at the 35, and that is good enough for a first down.
1st and 10 Cornell from the 35.
I've yet to see Cornell really establish that downfield passing game.
And just as you say that, they air it out. And Robert is able to haul it in, and that takes them into Columbia territory at the 30-yard line. A beautiful pass down the left side of the field.
First real shot of the game by this Cornell offense, and taking advantage of his security blanket there and making a play.
An incomplete pass. He was trying to get it to his running back, Powell.
Intended for Powell. 2nd and 10.
And it's been a challenge for them to build some rhythm on offense, because we've seen a lot of these stretches, Landon, where they'll make a throw deep down the field or they'll make a completion, some yak yardage, and then you have a dump off that leads to an incompletion or something towards the sideline. And that's also been something that they've had to navigate today.
Yeah, and it's been really hard for this Cornell offense to build these consistent drives because Columbia's defensive front has been so active, building pressure, makes it real difficult.
Wong has room to operate. This time he successfully connects with Powell, and Powell, bumping off of traffic like a bumper car, is going to take it down near the 20-yard line.
Last 2 drives, Cornell's done a really good job of establishing the passing game and being able to put drives together.
They go again to the ground, and that is going to be good for a first down.
First and 10, Cornell.
The injuries in the backfield really caught up with Cornell, unfortunately, at the tail end of this season. They've gone through so many different individuals as Wong throws one into the end zone, and it is going to be caught for a touchdown. Thomas Glover, his second score of the afternoon, as Wong all of a sudden piling up the mileage through the air, and Cornell not going away without a fight.
Yeah, great play call here. Able to bend it right across the safety's face. And Kaiser, pardon me.
Glover, you refer to.
Glover, able to make that catch. Second of the day.
He made a great grab in the opposite end zone earlier in the contest. And now Cornell will go for two. Try to make it a 16-point game. And a little trickery, and it finds the end zone for a 2-point conversion, as it is A.J. Holmes able to run it in off a handoff, off a screen pass.
Hook and ladder. Shades of Boise State and Oklahoma back in the Fiesta Bowl. Great play call there, 2-point conversion.
So first, here is the touchdown, and once again, Wong able to find Glover. And then here is the 2-point conversion, as Wong dumped it off, and then the shuffle pass from LeBoy to Holmes.
You always save your most creative, most innovative plays for that 2-point conversion, and we see it there. Great play call, able to secure that 2-point conversion.
When you look at the scoring drive numbers, 8 plays, 75 yards in under 2 minutes. And with just over 2 minutes remaining in the game, let's see what Cornell decides to do. Lions obviously anticipating an onside kick here. And this one takes a strong bounce right into Columbia's hands, and they are going to run it back in for a score. And that is how you end the season in style. Marcus Libman. He can't just catch passes, he can catch ones off the bounce as well.
Cornell coming with the onside kick, and Marcus Libman able to secure it and get the return. Great play from Libman, not only a receiving threat, also special teams, and that just puts this one out of reach.
Falcons on for the extra point.
So Alex Felkins with extra point number 6. 45-22, Columbia leads Cornell as the Lions have been able to outman Cornell in every facet of this game, whether it be offense, defense, and now we see the third one, special teams.
Yeah, always really tough to secure those onside kicks. Looks like it went straight into his hands. And an easy touchdown there for the Lions.
Well, there's a reason why you put your best hand guys out there for a play like that. Yep, Marcus Libman, wide receiver, chipping in on specials. And Columbia now has set a new season high in points. Their previous high was 42 against Georgetown in week 2. And they were waiting, Landon, all season long to put this complete game together. This is something that Al Bagnoli's been emphasizing to his team. There's been games where the offenses look great, the defenses struggled. The defenses look great, the offenses struggled. And this is really the first time today, he'll be the first one to tell you everything wasn't perfectly clean, but where they had some semblance of continuity across the board.
And they haven't shot themselves in the foot. We've seen a lot of times this season, whether it be fumbles, interceptions, really a complete game, both on offense and on defense. Defense has supplied pressure the entire game and really put together a great game here.
Jamison Wong gaining some rhythm as this game has progressed, but he is out as the backup quarterback now in for Cornell. Ben Mays, as he's able to connect with Kenner. Mays, senior out of Louisiana.
2nd and 4.
David Archer trying to give some of his upperclassmen some exposure late in the year. And Mays somehow eludes one tackler and then is brought down by the rest of the Columbia attack. Will Butts on the stop there.
He's sacked by Will Butts.
And it looks like a Columbia player is down. So the training staff is going to come out to attend to that. We've seen a lot of players go down. Thankfully, the majority of them have gotten up on their own power and walked off the field. We'll take another look here. First of all, it's amazing how Ben Mays avoided the takedown from Mitch Moyer.
Columbia's defense just relentless in pressuring the quarterback all day today. Mays able to escape the first one, but not able to escape the second.
And a good sign to see Mitch Moyer able to walk off under his own power.
First charge timeout.
Cornell utilizing a timeout.
Correction. Second timeout.
Moyer, the senior out of Delaware. He's been a staple of this defensive front. A career year for him this season. Came into this game with 8 quarterback hits, had a block kick. As Columbia rotated defensive linemen all throughout the season, but Moyer was the anchor.
Good to see him up, walking around. Hate to get injured on your senior day, last game.
3rd and 6 here. Mays will just throw it away. Had nowhere to go there.
Yeah, nothing doing there, trying to roll the pocket. Columbia's secondary able to cover it up. Mays had to throw the ball away.
So clearly Cornell is going to keep its offense on the field. Perhaps the last opportunity for members of this senior class. Mays trying to take off and then just throws the ball into the ground, incomplete. And it will be a turnover on downs for the Big Red. And the Columbia defense comes through with yet another stop.
Starting to click now. Last one of the season. Finishing up with a winning season for these Lions. And they're feeling it, they're celebrating.
So how about this finish to the Ivy League season? Penn rallies past Princeton. There's 5 seconds left in that game. Yale won earlier, so that means that Yale went from sharing the Ivy League title to having sole possession of some hardware. And they say Ivy League football doesn't have drama?
The beginning of the day, I was rooting for the 4-way tie. I was.
So you were rooting for chaos, essentially?
Rooting for chaos.
I see. A little mayhem, a little chaos.
Exactly.
It's the Lions offense coming out to take a few knees. Caden Bell will do the honors. Prior to Al Bagnoli taking over in 2015, between 1956 and 2014, in 1956, the first year that Columbia started playing in Ivy League play, Lions had 5 winning seasons. between 56 and 2014. Al Bagnoli now, in the last 5 campaigns, is going to have this team post 4 winning records. So they have nearly matched the amount of winning seasons in this short period of time that they accomplished between 56 and 2014. If that doesn't put things in perspective, I don't know what does.
He's a living legend. He really is. He came in here, established a culture, changed the culture, and sustained that winning way, right? And Columbia able to secure another winning record, winning season, all because of that man right there.
So a Columbia season that started with heartbreak ends with smiles ear to ear as they end the season on a 3-game winning streak, and they beat Cornell for the 4th time in the last 5 years to hold on to that Empire State Bowl. 4 winning campaigns in the last 5 for this Columbia team, and Cornell is able to secure its first season at 500 since 2011. Final score here at Lawrence A. Ween Stadium, 45-22, Columbia wins. We'll be back with more right after this. The Columbia Lions celebrating here on the field at Lawrence A. Ween Stadium as they are able to retain the Empire State Bowl, a rivalry that goes back to 1889 in terms of all time, but they started this segment of this head-to-head matchup in 2010, and it is now going to be a series that is even at 6 games apiece, with each team victorious at the midway point, as the Lions were able to lean on a rushing attack that gave them 166 yards. Caden Bell with a touchdown pass and a special teams touchdown as well landed. A little bit of everything in this contest.
A little bit of everything, a truly complete game, right? And we talked to Coach early on this week. Great way to end the season, right? Playing your most complete football of the season. For these seniors, such a great feeling to come off the field with a victory. And for the underclassmen, moving on into the offseason, winter conditioning, spring ball with a little bit of motivation, right? Momentum.
You see Ryan Young, Alex Felkins, the seniors who really put their stamps on this game. Felkins set the career record for extra points. Ryan Young, we showed the graphic earlier. He is one of the top rushers all time in Columbia history. There's Mitch Moyer as well. You name it, all of these players were able to come through. And I think it says a lot about this Columbia team, how things started versus how they stuck through and were able to finish things off with a 3-game winning streak. As that is going to wrap things up for us here in New York City. It started with a beautiful presentation on Senior Day, and then it was a touchdown clinic for the Lions as they provided some defensive flashes with Seth Parker and then continued to punch it in on the ground. For Landon Beatty, Lance Meadows saying so long from Robert K. Kraft Field, Lawrence A. Ween Stadium, where the final score once again, Columbia 45, Cornell 22. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN and the Ivy League.